Cod is one of the fish species with high economic value. Popular in the international market thanks to its delicious taste and rich nutrition. Cod fishing requires a combination of modern technology and many years of practical experience of fishermen. Cod lives mainly in cold seas such as the North Atlantic, North Pacific, especially in the waters of Norway, Canada, Iceland and Russia. Cod fishing season usually falls in winter and early spring, when they migrate close to shore to spawn. Fishermen use many different methods to catch cod. The most common are bottom trawling and long line. Bottom trawling is a method of using large nets on the seabed, helping to catch a large amount of fish but easily affecting the ecological environment of the seabed. In contrast, long line is a traditional and more environmentally friendly method. Although the yield is lower, the quality of the fish is more guaranteed because the fish are less damaged. During the fishing process, modern fishing vessels are equipped with GPS positioning technology, radar and fish detecting sonar systems, which help to accurately determine the location of the fish. After the fish are brought onto the vessel, they are pre-processed on the spot such as sorting, gutting, cleaning and refrigerated to maintain freshness. Some vessels also have a quick freezing system to preserve the fish in the best condition until they reach port. In addition to fishing, many countries today also apply strict management measures such as issuing quotas and regulating the size of fish allowed to be exploited, to protect cod resources from the risk of being exhausted. Thanks to that, cod fishing not only ensures economic efficiency but also aims at sustainable development and protection of the marine environment. In addition, weather factors and sea conditions also play an important role in the process of cod fishing. In winter, big waves, strong winds and ice make the work of fishermen more dangerous and difficult than ever. They have to work in harsh cold conditions, facing the risk of accidents at sea, disorientation or ship breakdown. Therefore, it is indispensable to fully equip fishermen with life jackets, communication equipment, rescue systems and emergency response training. In addition, the process of transporting cod from ship to shore is also carefully and quickly organized to maintain the best product quality. After being brought ashore, the fish will continue to be refrigerated or processed at factories for export or domestic distribution. Cod products such as fillets, salted fish, frozen fish or dried fish are very popular in the international market, especially in Europe, the US and Japan, thanks to its high economic value and large consumption demand. Cod is not only an important source of income for fishermen but also contributes significantly to the marine economy of many countries. However, in the context of climate change and increasingly serious marine pollution, maintaining a sustainable cod fishery is becoming a major challenge. International organizations, governments and fishing communities are working together to apply environmentally friendly fishing methods, control production and restore natural fish stocks, to ensure that this precious fish will not be depleted in the future. In addition, research and application of modern science and technology in cod fishing are also increasingly focused on. Oceanographic research institutes coordinate with the fishing industry to conduct regular surveys on cod stocks, habitats, migration habits and reproductive status, thereby making scientific recommendations to adjust fishing activities accordingly. Some places also invest in smart fishing technology such as sensor nets and automatic fish catch monitoring systems to both improve efficiency and limit overfishing. In addition to technical measures, raising public awareness of marine resource protection, especially among local fishermen, also plays an important role in the cod conservation strategy. Training programs, seminars on sustainable fishing, the use of environmentally friendly fishing gear, or policies to support career transition for fishermen who are no longer suitable for traditional fishing methods have been and are being implemented. In the future, it is possible that cod farming in a controlled environment, mariculture, will be a new direction to help reduce pressure on wild cod, while ensuring a stable supply for the market. Although there are many difficulties and challenges, with close coordination between science, government and fishermen, cod fishing is gradually being improved in a more efficient, safer and more sustainable way, contributing to preserving this valuable seafood resource for future generations. Not only stopping at the stage of catching and preserving, cod also plays an important role in the global marine economic value chain, from processing, exporting to developing tourism and culinary culture. In many Nordic countries such as Norway or Iceland, cod is not only a food source but also a cultural symbol associated with the lives of coastal people for hundreds of years. Cod festivals are held annually to honor this fish, attracting thousands of visitors to experience activities such as traditional fishing, fish processing at the fish market or enjoying typical dishes made from cod. This contributes to generating revenue from tourism and promoting the image of the country associated with the sea. On the other hand, cod is also an important input material for the seafood processing industry. Cod products include not only fresh or frozen fillets but also a variety of fish sausages, fish balls, cod liver oil, or functional foods rich in omega-3, all of which bring high added value. By standardizing production processes and meeting strict food safety requirements, many countries have turned cod into a key export item, contributing greatly to the national GDP. However, to maintain this long-term benefit, the cod fishing and processing industry must constantly innovate and adapt to changes in the market, the environment and technology. From complying with international regulations on legal fishing, to product traceability and minimizing emissions during processing, all are important factors in the journey to sustainable development. In this way, cod is not only a gift from the ocean but also a testament to the harmonious relationship between humans and nature when we know how to appreciate, exploit and protect resources in a smart and responsible way. In addition to its economic and cultural values, cod also has great significance in terms of nutrition and public health. With high protein content, low fat, rich in vitamin D, B12 and especially omega-3, a fatty acid that is very good for the heart and brain. Cod has become the top choice on the menu of many families and high-end restaurants around the world. Regular consumption of cod also helps prevent chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, stroke, osteoporosis and memory loss in the elderly. Therefore, the market demand for cod is always high, not only in developed countries but also in emerging markets with a tendency towards healthy eating. This requires the cod exploitation and supply industry to ensure product quality. From catching, preserving to processing and distributing. The application of certifications such as MSC, Marine Stewardship Council, for sustainable fishing products or HACCP for food safety are necessary standards to help consumers feel secure and at the same time enhance the reputation of cod products in the international market. In the current era of globalization and climate change, the story of cod is not only the story of a single industry or a sea area, but also a common problem of the world in protecting ocean resources and developing the marine economy in a green and sustainable direction. Cod, with all the values it brings, has surpassed the role of a common seafood to become a symbol of the balance between exploitation and conservation, between economic benefits and responsibility to the natural environment. Looking to the future, the sustainable development of cod fishing cannot be separated from global efforts to protect marine ecosystems and minimize negative impacts from humans. Climate change is altering ocean currents, sea temperatures and habitats for many fish species, including cod. These changes affect the timing and location of spawning, disrupting natural migration patterns, making it more difficult to predict and access fish stocks. Therefore, the fishing industry needs to continue investing in marine climate monitoring and forecasting technologies, combined with biological data to develop flexible fishing strategies that adapt to natural fluctuations. At the same time, international cooperation also plays a key role in managing cod resources, because cod are not limited by national territorial boundaries but migrate across many different seas. Establishing common agreements on fishing quotas, fishing areas and sharing research data between countries will help ensure fairness and efficiency in fishing. Avoiding disputes or overfishing. In addition, the role of consumers cannot be underestimated in the cod protection chain. By prioritizing the use of sustainable, legally certified and environmentally friendly fish products, consumers contribute to creating positive pressure on businesses and manufacturers, forcing them to change their operating methods towards more responsibility. Communication and public education campaigns on the importance of cod and marine resources should also be promoted to raise awareness and form responsible consumption habits. Only when every link in the chain from fishing to consumption is working towards a common goal can we protect and maintain this precious resource for the long-term future. In short, the journey to conquer the ocean to catch cod is a typical example of the combination of labor, knowledge and responsibility. Cod is not only a fish with high economic value but also a symbol of sustainability. pride and hope that people can completely live in harmony with nature if they know how to respect and preserve what the sea has to offer with all the values that have been and are being recorded. Cod deserves to be considered an indispensable part of the modern marine economic development strategy. From creating jobs for millions of fishermen and workers in the processing industry, to promoting international trade and enriching global culinary life, cod has surpassed the limits of a common seafood to become a bridge between people and the ocean. Importantly, to maintain and develop that value, all activities related to cod, from exploitation, conservation, research to consumption, need to be organized scientifically, transparently and with a long-term vision. Today, when the world is increasingly moving towards green economic models, circular economy and sustainable development, the fishing industry, especially cod fishing, is no exception to that trend. Making the most of every part of the cod, such as processing the head, bones, and skin into byproducts or recycling them into fertilizers and animal feed, helps reduce resource waste and optimize economic value. Along with that, processing plants and seafood logistics systems are also gradually switching to using renewable energy, reducing carbon emissions and treating wastewater more effectively, to minimize the impact on the environment. These efforts, although quiet, are a solid foundation for building a cod industry that is both efficient and friendly to nature. In conclusion, cod is not only a delicious dish on the dining table, but also a symbol of the close connection between people and the sea. Behind each codfish brought up from the ocean floor is the sweat, knowledge and expectations of an entire community. People who are making a living every day and preserving the precious gift that nature has given. Preserving and developing the cod fishery in a sustainable way is not only the responsibility of the fishing industry, but also the responsibility of the whole society, of each of us, those who are benefiting from the generosity and tolerance of the sea. Therefore, in the current context, educating the younger generation about the importance of protecting marine resources, especially valuable fish species such as cod, is extremely necessary. Schools, social organizations and mass media need to coordinate to incorporate knowledge about the marine environment, fisheries and sustainable development into the curriculum and practical experience activities. When young people understand that a cod is not just food but also a symbol of an industry, of a complex and fragile marine ecosystem, they will be more conscious in consuming, protecting the environment and preserving natural resources for the next generation. In addition, encouraging the creativity of young people in applying science and technology to solve problems related to catching, preserving and consuming cod is also a potential direction. New ideas such as using artificial intelligence to forecast fish flows, blockchain technology to trace the origin of seafood, or a closed cod farming model in an artificial marine environment, are gradually being realized and promise to bring new progress to the world's seafood industry. Finally, whether viewed from a biological, economic, social or cultural perspective, cod always holds a special place in people's hearts, not only because of the material value it brings, but also because of the profound spiritual meaning of the connection between people and the ocean. The journey to find and exploit cod is a symbol of determination. of the desire to conquer nature, and also a gentle reminder that nature is only truly sustainable when people know how to live in harmony with it. Cod, a seemingly ordinary fish in the cold ocean, is telling us a larger story about responsibility, about knowledge, and about the future of this entire blue planet. From the story of cod, we can draw a profound lesson: no matter how valuable a resource is, it cannot be endless if it is exploited by humans without control and without responsibility. The history of the world's fishing industry has recorded many cases of the collapse of an entire fishing industry due to abuse. Typically the cod depletion disaster in the waters of Newfoundland, Canada in the 1990s. The consequence was not only the loss of traditional fish resources but also the economic, social and psychological crisis of tens of thousands of people who depend on the sea. Since then, the world has gradually changed its thinking, from maximum exploitation to limited exploitation, and from short-term profits to long-term value. Cod has thus not only recovered in some areas of the ocean, but has also become a model for effective conservation and fisheries management. Moreover, in the larger picture of the climate crisis and global biodiversity loss, the protection of cod also symbolizes the commitment of humanity to restore and preserve what is being lost. Every policy enacted, every technology adopted, every awareness campaign organized is a link in a global network of action to ensure that we do not just take, but also return to the sea what we have taken. As the cod continue to swim